Hello, welcome to Spotlight on Sports. I am Harold Bell. On today's show, my celebrity host, former NBA great Spencer Haywood, with my special guest, Mike Jarvis of George Washington University, college basketball's winningest active coach, Clarence Big House Gaines of Winston-Salem State, Butch Beard of Howard University, Gary Williams of the University of Maryland, and John Chaney of Temple University. They will take a look at the future of college athletics. The Knight Commission recently came up with some recommendations to improve the sad state of athletics on America's campuses. Right after these messages, we will join Spencer Haywood and my special guest in the Grand Slam Sports Bar in the Grand Hyatt Hotel in downtown Washington, D.C. Don't go away.
We're sitting here with a distinguished coaches from the NC2A Division I and Division II, and there was a Knight report that just came out. I would like for one of you gentlemen to comment on what do you think about the Knight report and what do you think about it? Gary?
Well, I really believe that they're trying to take some steps in the right direction. I think they're interested in trying to do some things to tighten up some situations where the academic progress of the student athletes is going to be more closely monitored, and anything to help the academic progress of the students that we all coach, I guess, is a step in the right direction. But I think, just for myself, I know like what I try to do as a coach and what the university where I work at tries to do, and I think each university has to take a look at themselves first before any legislative body can come in and make some changes in the system right now.
Okay, so are you saying that the universities should be
Well, I think
govern themselves?
Each university is responsible for the success or failure of their student athletes, just like they are for the rest of the students. And I think we have to take that responsibility individually first before any outside commission can really enforce whatever changes they want to do.
Yeah, well, Coach Gaines, that's sort of like, to me, saying that, who's going to watch the store in the real sense if the universities are going to be monitoring themselves as far as this commission is concerned. I'm a little bit confused with that.
I'm not exactly confused, but if you look at an NCAA manual, the sole responsibility of all programs, particularly the athletic program, has always been in the hands of the CEO. The question that I would ask and throw out to everybody is that how did it get out of hand? That's the first thing. And with this Knight report, they talk about the 1-3 plan. And the one is that the governing bodies, the governor, the Board of Education, the Board of Trustees will give and put back into the hands where it was not the sole responsibility and the authority of the presidents and chancellors to govern their own programs. And I think it's good, to be frank with you. But just like Gary said a minute ago, that you first of all need to go back with a self-evaluation. In other words, this is what they're trying to do. They call it a reform movement. Where do we fit into this? How can we do the right thing? Because right now, the public doesn't look at athletics as being what it should be. You remember way back, that's probably before your days, Jack Horner, the All-American boy, and that sort of thing, that you looked at an athlete as a role model.
Right.
Now they try to figure out who's taking what.
Who's taking what? I mean, one of the known college coaches, I think the coach from Duke, what's his name, Mike? Krzyzewski, mentioned that all of the coaches are cheating somewhat. Mike, what do you think about that? So I'm not saying that they are cheating, but this is a statement that he's saying that you're cheating in some degree.
Well, it depends on what you consider and what you term cheating. I mean, there are so many rules that violate common sense, so many rules that violate doing what is right, for example, for a youngster. For example, if I took a youngster home this afternoon and gave him a good home-cooked meal, I would be, in essence, cheating.
But let's stop there. Why would that be cheating?
Because that's basically one of the rules that's written, that you cannot, for example, give your student athlete anything that you would not make available to anybody else on the campus. But the one point I'd like to make is that First of all, the Knight Commission is very good and to be applauded. However, at the same time, the problem that exists is that there are many schools. In fact, I think the majority of the schools are not violating many of the rules and many of the things that have been written in the Knight Commission. There are many, many positive things that are taking place in college athletics, and unfortunately, I guess like everything else in our society, we only read about the problems. We only read about the things that will sell newspapers. There are a lot of great things going on, and there are a lot of things that also need to be given more attention.
Okay. Well, for an example, Butch, my old roommate, back with the Knicks, I taught him everything he knows. So
we're going to get all the stories now.
But Butch, tell me this, being a young athlete, come out of a undeprived area, so-called ghetto area, and don't have accessibility to money, food, etc., and you as a coach, and you give him food or have him come over for dinner or something like that, you're in violation. I'm a little bit confused because of the fact that wouldn't the well-being of this player become a little bit more important than just the rules here?
Well, it would be important, but this is my first year as a college coach. These gentlemen have a lot of years ahead of me, a lot of years of experience. The one thing that I think that, Coach Williams said, and it's very important, and everybody else on the panel has said so far, is that, the universities are going to have to look at themselves first and try to see if they can monitor themselves. There are a lot of good things happening, but we don't hear about it. What we have to do is we have to sit down and monitor, our own programs and work toward getting the kid an opportunity to get a degree after he finishes his athletic competition. And I think that if you can do that, okay, I think that you're going in the right directions with the kids. At Howard University, the majority of the kids that I recruit, I know they're not going to be professional players. So, my biggest goal is to make sure that after they're there 4 or 5 years, that they walk off of that campus and can walk out and make a living. Now, if I do that, then I consider myself successful with the kids. Now, of course, I'm going to have to win some games in order to stay, in the profession. But that's what we're all trying to do. All the coaches are trying to do that. The schools have to help the coaches to try to do that. And, a majority of the schools are doing it, but when you have something that happens bad, it's multiplied.
It's a reflection, it just reflects. Because we live in a negative society, it seems to be like anything that happens bad sort of gets the spotlight. One of the things that I see now in sports is the big business of it, of athletics. So for an example, Notre Dame just got a large contract, $30 million for his program from NBC for his football games. Should that money be divided up equally amongst the lesser universities that are not getting as much, and also with the big CBS contract that was received, I think, last year? Somebody can address that for me?
Well, if I may, I think we're heading in that direction. I don't know exactly how quickly or how in depth it will become, but this year, for example, the proceeds from the NCAA Division I basketball tournament, there is a new format that basically now is awarding a percentage of the money to conferences as opposed to individual schools. There has been and have been proposals. I'm sure that proposals will come up again. In fact, on the National Association of Basketball Coaches, the board of directors last year came up with a suggestion that possibly all of the monies be equally divided among all of its membership, including Division II schools. And so who knows? Maybe the day will come when that does happen.
Okay, I hope so soon. Coach Gaines, since you're the veteran of this round table, what about the big business in sports? How has it grown since the times when you started and as opposed to right now?
I'll give you a good example. I was talking to Billy Packer, and I think when they first started with the ACC program, those The schools only picked up maybe $2,000 a piece, and the thing has escalated. So when the public has caused that, the thing that bothers me as a Division II person, right now everything is geared toward Division I. What we probably need to do at Division II is come up with a good class action suit, since the NCAA is an organization of Divisions I, II, and III, and let them come out with another formula.
Well, we'll be right back. Thank you. Well, we're back now with some of the great coaches. We have gentleman over at the first end of the table, Butch Beard from Howard University. We have Mike Williams from Maryland, Big House Games from Winston-Salem, and Mike Jarvis from George Washington University. And my name is Spencer Haywood, and we got John Chaney on the phone. Hi, John.
How you doing, Spencer?
Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be with you guys this morning.
Okay, well, we're talking about the problems in the college athletics in the night report, and we're just talking about really how to improve. I know you're a proponent of Proposition 48 or against Proposition 48. Can we talk a little bit about it?
Well, you know that I've listened to the Knights Commission report, and of course, you know, some of the things that they came away with is certainly not new to all of us. All of us are aware of it. All of us are aware of the problem, but I think that we missed a great opportunity to perhaps point at where we should be going as far as addressing the real issue, and that is the lack of education that we find with many of our young folk, and most especially kids who come from, you know, some of the disadvantaged areas. The Knights Commission came away with a statement that I can remember: only recruit students who show promise. And also at the same time, they made a statement where they said that when a marginal student is brought into college, he often remains marginal. Well, it's not just because he's participating in sports or athletics that he's spending a lot of time there, but this is true with a lot of our students who come into school that are not athletes. The problem, as I see it, and as many of us really realize, is not found in the college. The apple just doesn't fall too far. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the apple does not fall too far from the tree. And I just see that the problem is not college. The problem is at the early level, where we just didn't take the right arrow and point it in the right direction. We're constantly find ourselves involved in talking about the college athlete when he comes out of that same environment, and nothing's ever going to change until we begin to place a great deal of effort and concern at educating our kids at the early level. That's why I'm against Prop 48. There's no longer Prop 48, by the way, it's Prop 42. Okay. The youngsters have to pay their way to go to school now if they do not qualify with the 700.
John, some of you other coaches maybe should throw in on this one. The idea that we have so many basketball clinics and coaches clinics during this summer, maybe perhaps this would be an opportunity for us to maybe steer that special athlete or that athlete that you think possibly would be able to go into a junior high school level and into a high school level and on to the college level and give them special education.
Well, I think John's point's well taken. The people that are involved with sports